bicycle cherries to invisible bike selfie sticks. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys 6 bits of bike bling and gear to upgrade your bike. So let's get into it. Welcome back, Pathless Peddlers. And if you're new to the channel, if you're into the non-competitive side of cycling, riding party pace, you have found your people, hit that subscribe button. So you can tell it's finally hot and summer here because I have switched from the flannels and plaids to the Hawaiian shirts. A little bit more colorful and with some flair, and that's kind of the theme of today's video. So the first piece of interesting bike flair I want to share with you guys is this. These are known as bike cherries or cable cherries, and they're by the brand Forager Cycles. You can buy these like I bought them on the Velo Orange website if you're interested. Basically, if you're like me, you're probably not the best crimper of cable ends. Maybe you don't do it right, maybe you squeeze too tight or not tight enough and you find that they fall off. You've got bare exposed cable threatening to cut your legs to shreds, because that's what they do. Well, these cute little things will solve that problem as well as give you a little flair on the bicycle. To install it, it's pretty simple. You just take the sphere, put it over your cable, and instead of crimping it down, you just turn the little grub screw until it bites onto the cable. So far, I've found it pretty secure, and it's a great affirmative way to attach a cable end to a cable. Sometimes I screw up the crimping and it just falls off eventually, but so far these guys are pretty good. You buy them by the pair. They come in all sorts of fun anodized colors. This particular color is the pink that I bought for the Crust Bambora. So if you're interested, check out the link below. So continuing the theme of useful but kind of bike blingy is this bar end plug by the brand Nitto. If you ride drops and you've bought several types of bar tape, oftentimes they just come with really cheap plastic friction fit bar ends. Those are mostly great, but they're kind of boring. Sometimes I've had them fly out. Not so with this guy. It's a cool looking blue aluminum on the cap, as well as a squishy kind of rubber plunger thingy, expander bolt, whatever. You basically stick it into the end of your handlebar, and using a small Allen wrench, you turn it and it expands the plug, and it's not gonna fall off. Bonus, you've also got this fun pop of blue on your bike. I know there are different brands that make versions of this. I bought this one specifically from the Rivendell online shop. They carry a bunch of Nitto products. Check out the links below. Another fun but functional upgrade are these guys. These are the ESI silicone grips. They come in fun colors aside from black. These are the orange ones. I've got a pair of seafoam blue ones on my polyvalent. I just put these blue ones on the Soma Buena Vista I'm testing. But beyond just the colors, these have to be some of the most comfortable grips I have ever used. I know I've mentioned it multiple times on the channel. I really struggle riding with flat bars because of carpal tunnel that's developing from all the video editing. And one of the few things that has made riding in flat bars or alt bars bearable are these ESI grips. They're just this super squishy foam and they soak up so much vibration. The only downside, however, is they are a bit of a pain to put on. I'm not going to go into installing them. There are many videos that do that, but basically some people say you have to put rubbing alcohol and jam it on really quickly. I've had some success with water and using an air compressor. So I know these don't look like much. They just look like strange silicone hot dog sausage things, but they are so cushy, so comfortable. Part of that is, unlike grips that you bolt on, you can see that there is no rigid liner, so it's seriously all this squishy silicone goodness. If you're interested in buying some, again, check the links in the description below. Okay, now that you've got bike cherries and blingy bar end grips and colorful silicone grips on your bike, you've got to take a photo of it, right? For the gram. And while yes, you could use a water bottle or search for a stick or a rock that will prop your bike up perfectly, pro way to do it is with these guys. So the brand Shadow Stand sent these over after seeing my artisanal bike selfie stick video. And these are basically clear acrylic pieces of acrylic that are shaped and sized to prop up your bike. 2 heights of the smaller version. These are meant to prop up your bike via the pedal spindle. And there is this larger version, which I like to call the pedantic roadie stand. So you can set your pedals at 3 and 9 and make GCN happy. In practice, I've found the larger one way more stable. I think it's just because it has more of a platform to rest the bike against. For the smaller ones to work, you really need ideal terrain, so a paved surface and generally flat. That said, I have taken this on gravel rides as well, and if there's a slight slope, it'll mess up the height that's necessary to prop up the bike. So again, you have to find kind of a level surface to take that picture, which isn't always the most convenient, but hey, it works great in my driveway. I've been using these for the last couple of weeks doing bike reviews. If you're wondering how I get the bike to magically stand up, it's with the shadow stand. Again, links below. The next product are these small little top tube panniers called Straddle Bags by a Canadian company called Bikepackers Foundry. I got tipped off to them by our friends over at Whitefish Bike Retreat. Our friend Cricket has been using it on her long bike packing trips. I ordered a pair to check them out to see if they would work well for carrying various action cameras that I use. I know just looking at them, it looks as if you're going to be slapping them all the time with your knees, but that's not been my experience. I've used it on the Sharon Cycles gravel bike, which I reviewed recently. That has a long front center, so it makes sense that my knees weren't slapping it. But I've also put them on my Rivendell, which has more traditional front center geometry and no knee slapping problems. Again, your bikes may vary. The smaller the bike or the longer the femur, some issues may arise, but in my experience, hitting it with your knee has been overstated. It's a great place to put your phone, so it's always gram accessible on your ride. Also a good place to put things like a GoPro or the Insta360 Go 2 camera, which I really enjoy. And snacks, of course, snacks, don't forget snack. The way it attaches to your bike is you're given a really long strip of Velcro that you then cut down so it wraps around the top tube of your bike. And then there's also an elastic piece of cordage which kind of firms it up against the head tube. To close the bags, it's basically one big flap that's held down by some elastic cordage. I would have preferred a little bit more sophisticated closure, so instead of using this makeshift elastic cord, maybe something like the magnetic fidlock. But who knows, maybe as the brand grows, they'll start incorporating some of those niceties. If you're interested in these straddle bags, check out the link below. Last but not least, what kind of YouTuber would I be if I didn't talk about our own merch to bling out your bike? So you guys have seen our older gravel specific stickers. We have just come out with a new 80s prismatic gravel specific sticker 3-pack. These are bright and blingy and have that old school prismatic look if you grew up in the 80s or the late 90s. So you can let everyone know from quite a distance that your bike is indeed gravel specific. So you can pick up those stickers at our shop. All the links below. So hopefully you like this roundup of blingy but useful things for your bike for the summer. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments below. And if you like this content, consider supporting the channel by joining us on Patreon or visiting our store and buying some merch. I gotta sell a lot of stickers, people, to pay the bills. So as always, keep the supple side down.